Greta Thunberg is back in Gaza, or at least heading to Gaza. She first tried in June as part of a flotilla that tried to break the blockade set up by the Israelis. She was intercepted. She spent a day in Israel before being sent home on a plane. Interestingly, while she was in Israel, she was offered the chance to watch footage of the October 7 attack so she could see what was done to the Israelis. She refused to watch that. Her ignorance continues, and now she's setting off with others to try to break the blockade again. Here she is talking about her trip, and she was asked specifically, fair enough, you're upset about what's happening to the Palestinians. I think we're all upset about what's happening to civilians, but what about the hostages?
We know your views on what's happening and Israel's actions. Can I just ask you your thoughts on Hamas? They're still holding hostages. What would your message to Hamas be?
Again, there is a genocide going on. Palestinians have been living under suffocating oppression, and when there is an occupational force, this is not my views. By international law, people have a right to resist that occupation.
She really is insufferable, isn't she? As I said, last time she tried this stunt, the Israelis intercepted her boat. She was in Israel, I think, for a night before they sent her home. But this time, they're promising not to be so nice. They've said they'll put her in jail, and one of the prisons reserved for terrorists at that. So, Freya, once again, Israel doing the world's work. By the way, there's a little bonus to this. If they do jail her, it means that if Australia is unfortunate enough to host COP31 in 2026, we won't have to put up with Greta being on our shores.
That would definitely be a blessing. Thank you, Israel. But this is so infuriating because she is sitting there lecturing the world from her ivory tower about, it's not my view. It's just international law that Hamas is not really a terrorist organization, but she doesn't have the balls to actually watch what they did on October 7. And that, I think, is so hypocritical. You can't talk about international law, now this is just justified resistance, and then not watch what resistance actually looks like. Because I've seen the full 47-minute film that the IDF put together of all the October 7 footage, and it is rape, it is murder, it is kidnapping, it is thousands of civilians coming across from Gaza by air, by land, by sea to capture innocent Israelis. There is nothing about that was resistance. It was pure terrorism targeted at civilians. And so the goal for her to lecture Israel about international law while not even being willing to watch what her international law resistance actually is so hypocritical.
The girl is a bozo, but I'm not sure what locking her up really achieves. I think, if anything, it gives her what she wants, which is to become the martyr, which is what she did last time when they intercepted the boat. And she said, they've come aboard and they're taking us and rah, rah, rah. I mean, it's what she wants. She wants the headline to say that Israel won't allow me to go into Palestine. As far as I'm concerned, just let her float on into Gaza, take her piddly amount of aid that she's brought with her on the boat, and just let her run free. Whatever happens to her in Gaza is her business. If she comes in the way of a bullet, not my problem. We're not here to protect you. Just leave her alone and let her get on with it. I'm not sure what locking her up does.
Yeah, well, the Israelis are trapped either way, aren't they? If she doesn't make it to Gaza, she uses it for propaganda. And if she does make it to Gaza, she'll use it for propaganda. I'm sure Hamas will as well.
And this is the thing. And she is talking to an audience that is already on board with her, basically. I mean, how many people are looking at anything Greta Thunberg says these days and going, oh, geez, she's got a really great point I never thought of before. I mean, she's preaching to the converted. So in terms of any propaganda she could create in Gaza, I think really for the broader world is minimal. Just let her go. Let her go. Let her do her thing. It's no skin off my nose.
We don't kill civilians, but she talks about the right to resist. I mean, it's just such a shocking, sickening and both intellectually and morally vapid argument to be trying to make, but it's going to be made all around the world for the next little while.
Well, Chris, I will say that Greta Thunberg certainly knows how to draw international media attention. She's extremely good at that. All the media are watching her as she has left Spain on way to Israel. But some of the messaging there didn't seem very clear and concise, Chris. But she's certainly making a mark here. And Israel has said, there has been comments overnight that she could be arrested if she does arrive there, which is similar to what happened when she tried to do the same thing in June. So she's definitely drawing a lot of attention doing this voyage across to Israel.
Yeah, she was detained and then deported during a relatively brief period last time. Is there any suggestion that her arrest and detainment could actually be longer this time as a repeat offender?
Well, who knows, Chris? I mean, she hasn't got there yet. She's got quite a journey to go. But certainly Israel's made it very clear that they're not happy about this and the full force of the law will be applied. So that doesn't seem to deter her and the activists who are on board and on their way to Israel at the moment, Chris.